Good afternoon, everyone. We are live. Let's go. Was just watching this podcast wrapping up here with Mike Andes and Stefano Narducci. Pretty awesome to see what people are building in the different verticals there. Would I don't know if I would recommend this one for a starting operator. It's very important to kind of filter the information that you are viewing so that you are paying attention to where you're currently at, because they're talking about like franchising versus taking things in house and what can be done there and whatnot. But very cool podcast writ large. And as well, let's jump into it for you all today. As always, via free and paid group inside of the description. Today, we said technically one estimate. We quoted $5,028.99, but we booked it all. This came from a referral off of somebody who we had never even done the work for, which is pretty insane. I've never seen this before, but you'll love to see it. Literally, I was like, huh, that customer's name seems kind of familiar. But then I looked through the database and they had not been a customer, the referrer. I was like, wow, nice. You always love to hear it from somebody else who quite literally has never even worked with you in the past, telling you that we are doing a great job, which is amazing to see and hear. How that one came about, and basically the idea here for today's idea is the little things. So, texting the customers before you're going to be showing up to your estimate, hey, I'm on the way. Also being congruent, especially if you're trying to turn over one like $5,000 sale, literally knowing somebody for like 14 minutes. Basically going from a text message to setting it, and then basically a text before I'm on the way there, showing up to the job, and just kind of the littlest things. They had a garage, they had failing epoxy onto the floor, went over it a little bit, talked it through, went on to the colors, but then there was some interesting things that you see onto the estimates. So generally our three-car garages are like this. If this is the garage door opening right here, like this, but they had a little bump out into their garage. And I've seen thousands of garages at this point, but it's very rare that I see that. So then I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, you already have a large garage here, but you also have that bump out. It's pretty cool. And then they're like, whoa, because it's an authentic thing that I'm complimenting. Um, the Super Bowl is tomorrow. I don't really care much about football at all. Tom Brady is already retired, so I really don't care. And I really like it, just kind of like how I like watching UFC fights. If it's very interesting, very cool characters, people seeing who's gonna win, how are the press conferences going, every bit of that. But for instance, I'm not talking about NFL, even if they're have that onto their walls, because I don't know a single thing about it, and unfortunately, I could care less. But with those garages, I did care about that because it was already a large garage. But then when you take into account that little bump out, that was very, very nice, a niche kind of thing that I could show true appreciation for with them. And then going through the estimate, talking about different colors, being able to leave the flake board with him because his wife wasn't going to be there, kind of gauging how everything is going to go inside of the conversation so that he is getting the predominant color that he wants. Both of them are in agreement with it, making a little joke saying, this is going to be permanent, so we want to make sure we get it right. You guys can steal that one from me whenever people are going over the flake colors. Well, this is going to be a permanent decision, so we want to make sure that you're getting it right the first time. Ha ha, laugh a little bit. And then, as well too, we shook hands at the initial. I always shake hands, went well. But then on the exit, shaking hands, I it caught me too quick. Caught me too quick and got the fish hand right there. So I said, "Oh man, I got a fish hook right here. Let's do that again. Get a real good handshake after that." and you can be self-deprecating on those kind of things. And just the situational awareness, which took me forever to be, from not being very socialized and playing way too many video games, but building on those things, seeing the patterns, how does it work, and just those kind of things. Some people would have just let that handshake be like that, but you want to finish off strong, always finish strong inside of that conversation. And then talking about our shop, how we have the flake samples here onto our floor shop, everything to do with that. And he came by, and literally about an hour ago, we got it closed. So we will be doing that one. Still below on track, technically above on track, given the other garages that we've gotten, but still no games, no playing, keep it going, go, 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 go. And also, I'm about 99% with the great thing that I've been trying to build here for the longest time. So, you guys will see that tomorrow. And there's no live comments here. So, I bid you all adieu. Let me know if you need anything into the future. Drop a comment here if you want me to drop or to talk about any specific concepts for you. And as well, I will see you all in the paid and free group for this special announcement tomorrow.